Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Friday, April 9th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We're having a very nice day. Ended up sweeping the board. We won the play of the day video with the Cavs. We also won the joint video with Scott Steen play as we gave out the Clippers -5.5. Really nice, easy winner on both. Cavs were up, I believe, 4 at the half or so, and then the second half happened and Oklahoma City couldn't score. Cleveland won by about 27. Meanwhile, the Clippers were in a bit of a dicey situation for about 2.5 quarters. And then Phoenix ran out of gas, playing a back-to-back after an overtime game. Really not a fun time. And the Clippers did enough to get the job done by double digits. Really just Paul George going off, Rondo playing well off the bench, and the Clippers got the job done. So a nice 2-0 day. We're going to be looking for another winner here on Friday in the NBA. And for the play of the day, we're going to be looking at a matchup taking place between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New York Knicks. It will be taking place at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, we like the road favorites here in the Grizzlies -1.5. And -110 on Bet Online. Time recording of 9:16 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the Grizzlies in the spot. First of all, there has been a lot of line movement on Memphis already in most spots. Memphis has gone mostly from -1.5 to -2. However, Bet Online still has 1.5. So I do expect that to probably move to 2 within the next couple of hours. But this line could probably close at around 2.5 or 3. I really just don't see much Knicks money coming in based on how these two teams have played lately. And what I mean by that is the fact that Memphis entered this game on a 4-game winning streak, where New York has lost 5 of its last 6. However, Memphis has been even more impressive than that. It has won each of its last 4 games by at least 12 points. They've really been killing teams. And just to go through the teams in particular, beat Minnesota at home. Minnesota we know is terrible, so I'm not going to read too much into that one. But beat Philadelphia on the road. I know Embiid didn't play, but even without Embiid, Philadelphia has still been a very solid team without Embiid. Beat Miami on the road by double digits, and then also beat Atlanta on the road by double digits. So Memphis has beaten some pretty good teams pretty handily if you look at the last couple of games. And meanwhile, New York has really struggled. I know that this team has been a great story up to this point. However, something that hasn't changed is the offense, and this team, just simply put, cannot score. You want to look at the actual offense efficiency numbers for both teams, and New York is, for lack of a better word, terrible. You go through the actual numbers here, and Memphis on offense efficiency is, I'd say, middle of the pack, just to go through. Memphis currently ranks tied for 16th. Meanwhile, New York ranks 24th. This team really just can't score. And the main reason why you have had a difference in quality between these two offenses is the unselfish nature of Memphis's basketball team. Memphis ranks 9th in assist ratio. New York ranks 29th. So New York really relies heavily on ISO scoring, mostly by Barrett and by Julius Randle. And that's a bit of an issue when Memphis has been pretty solid defensively all season long. And the fact that Memphis does share the ball extremely well on the offensive end. But looking at the last couple of games for Memphis, in addition to the pretty decent offensive efficiency ranking, this team has actually been playing its best basketball this season offensively for the last couple of games. It has scored at least 116 points in each of its last 4 games. Meanwhile, you're looking at New York, besides a blowout game against Detroit and a close loss against Brooklyn. Brooklyn plays an up-tempo style, scored 112 there. This team offensively has really had problems, scored 99 against the Celtics, scored 86 against Dallas, scored 101 against Minnesota, scored 88 against the Heat. Really just some lackluster offensive performances, and I do think that New York will struggle to score enough points in order to get the job done in this matchup. But looking at the defense efficiency numbers, of course, New York is better because New York has an elite defense this season. New York ranks 4th in defense efficiency. However, a lot of people might not have realized that Memphis currently ranks 7th. So this team has actually been a very, very underrated defensive team, and I think that these teams might be closer in terms of defense efficiency than what people might be, have in mind, while the offenses are pretty far between each other. So I do think that Memphis should do enough defensively to limit New York's pretty underwhelming offense, while New York might struggle a little bit more to contain Memphis's offense, which has been clicking on all cylinders over the last week or so. Other than that, though, looking at some trends for this matchup, the Grizzlies are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 road games, which helps explain why Memphis has actually been a very, very solid road team all season long. Memphis is currently 14-9 straight up at home, and they're 15-8 on the road against the number. So Memphis has done a very good job of covering spreads on the highway, and I think that that's definitely going to take place once again in this matchup. Meanwhile, if you look at New York, this team might be pretty solid at home overall. However, the Knicks are 10-21-1 ATS in their last 32 home games versus a team with a winning road record. So, of course, most teams that have good road records tend to be teams above 500, teams that are going to be in the playoffs. And the truth is that the Knicks might be really good against beating up on bad teams, but against pretty good teams, really not the greatest at defending the home court, and I do think that this line should probably climb as a result of that. But the play of the day, once again, here for Friday, April 9th, is going to be on the Grizzlies, -1.5 and -110 on Bet Online. That's been this installment. Scott, talking to all of you and respect the best today. Bye, everyone.